How did you go from banking into real estate? What caused that?
I will honestly say that real estate was never on my radar. So I just went downstairs and asked Ken Kline if he would hire me. And he did, fortunately.
And he did. Wow. Hi, I'm Carl Weisecker, Principal Broker at Kline May Realty. Thanks for joining me for another Kline May Realty podcast. I'm here today, I'm happy to say, with my longtime friend and colleague, Keith May. Keith is the owner of Kline May Realty, Cottonwood Commercial Realty, part owner of Priority Property Management. But beyond that, has done really a tremendous amount to help shape life in the Shenandoah Valley here over the last 30 years. So thank you for sitting down with me. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for asking me to be part of the show. I appreciate it.
So one of the many rare things about you is you are a ninth generation Shenandoah Valley resident. How does that impact what you do every day and how you see your role?
Well, I love history, and I love that our family farm, that we've been there since the late 1700s. And whenever I got out of college, I had the opportunity to go elsewhere, to go to other parts of the U.S., but I just had that internal yearning to come back to the Valley and try to make a difference here in the Valley. And to me, the Valley has just been so rewarding in so many different ways. Yeah. And I've just consider it a tremendous honor to have been from such a beautiful area and to be part of helping to grow this incredible community called the Shenandoah Valley.
Most of your career has been along those lines, providing jobs for folks, providing housing for folks, helping businesses get started. But you started in banking. How did you go from banking into real estate? What caused that?
Yeah, I will honestly say that real estate was never on my radar. So the original goal was to come back, help out my father, work on the family farm, retire there like all the generations before me. But I had a professor at Virginia Tech that somewhat insisted and said, okay, it's great to go back to the family farm, but we think it would be good for your overall growth as a human to just go out and work outside the farm for a little bit and to actually, learn business outside the farm and then go back to the farm. And I had several professors, but one that actually called the local bank that did a lot of farm lending, and they basically asked them to hire me.
Nice.
And I still went through the interview process, but without the endorsement of that professor, and that was Dr. David Cole. There's now a center at Virginia Tech named after him. And he's been a mentor for so many students at Virginia Tech, and was certainly my mentor as well.
So then how'd you go from banking to real estate?
As I got connected with a friend from college, and he was investing in tax sale properties, and he asked me to possibly team up with him. And while I was still in lending, we were buying tax sale properties across the state. Mm-hmm. And that was sort of my connection to real estate. My family also had owned several rental properties, so that also pulled me a little bit into real estate. But we were leasing the second story of Kline Realty on South Main Street, and then that little business had to shut down because of the state process of doing tax sales. So I needed a job quickly. Well, I'd left banking. I was working in that job full time, and since the state changed their process, I needed a job quickly. Mm-hmm. So I just went downstairs and asked Ken Kline if he would hire me, and he did. Fortunately.
And he did. Wow.
And then 7 years, I was an agent for Ken. And then we reversed roles where he didn't want to manage anymore, and I took over management, and he sold me the business.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
And it's been quite a role since.
Quite a role ever since, right.
And so that was 1998.
Right.
So.
Right. Which was right when I started.
Which was an incredible hire.
I was a 2-week employee of Kline Realty, and then it became your company, which was amazing. And then the commercial company grew out of that, and is now one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, impactful commercial company on the 81 corridor. How did that transition go from helping people find their dream home to hoping Walmart calls you when they come to town?
Well, before I go there, I wanted to say we were talking about your very first year.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, everyone who was with the company at this point knows that you were the ERA Rookie of the Year for the entire nation. So, which helped put our company on the map.
Right here
so
in little old Harrisonburg.
that was really neat. And you were doing interviews about being the top agent at that point. And then I realized, man, Carl's really good on camera. So
So
you've been
here
good
I
on
am.
camera
Right.
ever since.
Right.
But
Yeah.
and the commercial company, I've always had an interest in business and economic development, and that was just a natural progression to focus on that side. And also by working in commercial lending, it helped me to learn those individuals that were busy in the commercial sector here in Harrisonburg. So, but there really wasn't any straight commercial guys at that point other than Ken Kline, and he did both at that time. So it was a good time for us to actually start a commercial company. David Lee, he was also just getting into commercial at that time. So we were both growing in commercial business together.
Right.
And there's been a lot of commercial business up and down the valley ever since then.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Just amazing development. So, and you've been a big part of a lot of that development, both residential housing developments and commercial development, and your name's on the company and people have seen you out there. I want to talk a little bit about the stuff that most people don't know about you, which is volunteering for years for the Chamber of Commerce and chairing that board and being named Entrepreneur of the Year and traveling to Africa to help folks get clean water and helping to found the Gandhi Center on JMU and all of those kind of things. How do you balance your time? You know, you could be out doing deals during all of that time, but I've seen you over 30 years spend so much of your time helping the community, whether it's here or halfway around the world. What's the motivator?
I just love helping the community. The community has given me so much that I like giving back to the community, and a lot of those things were my passions. But it's interesting to think about, though. But those things, they although not at the moment that you're involved in them, they continue to give back to your business as well, because it puts you out in front of the community. And whenever the community realizes that you're sincere about trying to improve the community and trying to improve the lives of people, that just naturally comes back to you in the form of business. So it's a hand in glove aspect of being involved in a job such as this. And I always encourage new agents who are joining our company to get involved in the community, because it's not only good for the community, it's also good for their business.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the Gandhi Center. That's something that a lot of folks don't know exists. You helped found it 20 years ago. It's still there on JMU's campus. So I'd like to hear a little bit about how that all came about and the mission. And then I'd love to talk a little bit about the folks you've gotten to meet through that.
The Gandhi Center has certainly changed over the years. It originally was founded by Dr. Sushil Mittal, and he held a conference that was regarding nonviolence perspectives of all the different faiths. Mm-hmm. And he had a conference at JMU with that. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend the conference, but I did call him afterwards and said, hey, did you actually tape this conference? Because it's so interesting to me because I want to learn. You know, I was raised with a certain perspective. I wanted to learn the other peace perspectives from the other various large world religions. And we went out to have lunch, and while we were at lunch, we cooked up the idea of forming the Gandhi Center.
Wow.
He was not from the area, I was from the area, but I knew a lot of the local leaders that I thought might also have an interest. And we formed a very strong board. that we did a lot of incredible things at that time. So it's changed over the years. It's now doesn't have as much of the Gandhian feel to it now, and it's not as much of a nonviolence. It's more of a social responsibility center, but it's still doing a lot of great work, and it did create some very unique and amazing life opportunities for me.
Right.
So
Yeah. So you've gone on some fantastic trips and had these amazing experiences and met truly world-class folks and minds. How do you bring it all back here? How does that impact your philosophy and your goals and how you get up and do what you do every day?
it's interesting, but even meeting those individuals, that they're just people like the rest of us, and they're people that they were propelled. They didn't plan those lives themselves. They were propelled because they were good people. They were kind people. They were hardworking people. They were um, people that cared about others. And I think it's a lesson that we can all learn from. Is really that's what we do as involved in the real estate business. It's like the kindness. It's Before I got into real estate, I thought, well, it's a house business. I'm going to have to learn every dryer and every washer and every water heater, and I'm going to have to know all that stuff. And it's not that at all.
Right.
It's about the people aspect. And those that succeed the most are those that absolutely love people. And that's what our jobs really is about. It's like connecting with people, trying to help them achieve their dreams, helping them in a seamless process where it's less stressful for them, and serving them as a servant attitude. And that's what Jimmy Carter, and that's what the Dalai Lama, and that's what Desmond Tutu, all three of those individuals had that same heart. And if we just follow that same example, then we can be phenomenal at our jobs.
So last question to kind of bring it all back home. Say you and I are hanging out 20 years from now. What do you hope the Valley looks like? What do you hope changes between now and then?
I hope we still preserve our agrarian nature, and I hope we still preserve, all the various wonderful hiking and biking and all that around us. But I also hope that we continue to grow as a community, both in terms of. I think that we need to continue to grow to be a healthy community. That I've been in some communities before that they were not growing, and things do not work out well for them when they do not grow. So there's always a feeling within any community. It's like, okay, we're here, so we want to stay exactly where we are right now. And I think that's a mistake in many, many different ways and many angles. I think growth has to be controlled to a certain extent, but you also still have to grow, and because you will have different businesses that will no longer be economically viable, so they need to be replaced with new companies coming in, new technologies coming in, for that vibrancy to continue. So, and I think that we've done a good job historically, but I do worry sometimes that we want to close the door on growth, and that just doesn't work.
Right.
It just doesn't work. If you go into certain areas of the country where their manufacturing base has been replaced, and they felt they had it, but then they lose some of their major employers, and then they don't know what to do, and their real estate values drop, and their population drops, and they lose all their youth.
Right.
They go elsewhere, and I don't want to see that to happen to this community. I want this community to continue to thrive.
Right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everything you do for our community.
I thank you for holding this series
Yeah.
and for the many years of great work you've done for Kline May,
Yeah.
Carl, and for the community.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And thank you all for watching us once again. Be sure to catch us next time.